Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to PairFect. I am Dinah Ventura.
And I'm Francine Marquez. And today, Dinah, have you been getting my holiday messages?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Yes, I greeted you as an astronaut, an animal, and a fairy godmother. All thanks to Viber lessons.
Yes, you've been playing with Viber,
I'm enjoying it. Well, a far cry from the more than 10 Viber groups we have in our office.
I know.
For a change.
Yeah, fun for a change, right?
Yes, which brings us to our special guest for today. We want to learn more about this cross-platform that's very popular all over the world. So today...
More than 1 billion users, I think.
Yes. So today, let's welcome Viber Rakuten Director for APAC, Mr. David Che. Che?
Thank you, Francine. Thank you,
I
Dinah.
hope I pronounced your last name right.
Yes, you got it absolutely right. So I'm pretty amazed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, David.
Hey.
Welcome to PairFect.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both of you and the viewers.
Okay, so David, we always start this show with this question. How has 2021 been for you personally and at Viber?
It's amazing. So I probably just start off with Viber. 2021 has been a phenomenal year for us as we see tremendous growth in our monthly active users. And we also feel this growth with the launch of a new feature we just talked about, everyone enjoying Viber Lens, which take our users to a completely new level of expressions. And also for Viber to appeal to younger segments of users. So very good features that we launched to have a new level of engagements. And of course, many successful local partnerships like Globe, Gcash, Ditto, amazing partners, and we find through our joint efforts to engage our users. I'm particularly very excited with the new categories of partnerships that we have, driving new content engagements, like P-Gang in humor, Backstage Pass on the music front, or even sports in basketball, which is a national sport in Philippines. With 30 Arena in the Sean New Phoenix team, tapping new audiences, especially towards the younger segment, as I mentioned, and expanding Viber usage beyond just messaging. Personally, it's probably the most well-balanced year I ever had.
Wow.
Managing a great team in APAC, empowered with the right resources, the autonomy to make the right decision for our countries, and at the same time, having more time with my family, which in the past I could only achieve great business impact with lots of traveling. And now, without compromising the time with my family. I believe the pandemic might have caused many challenges and pains, and even loss to many. But it also forces us to rethink how we do things more effectively and efficiently, especially when we're challenged with lockdown and distancing. So I do hope everyone, including all of us, will come out stronger and better. And I'm very certain Viber, our APAC team, and myself had definitely come out stronger.
Yes. Very well said. I agree.
And
Thank you.
thank God for connectivity and cross-platforms like Viber.
It has really improved communication among groups and people and families.
And families during the holidays.
Yes. Even for work.
Yes, I have my own Viber group in my family.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, David, what's Viber up to for the first quarter of 2022?
We have piloted many new initiatives in 2021, as I mentioned earlier on. They serve as a foundational understanding and learning for us to take them forward in a new level in 2022 on how we can really expand the engagement benefits for our users, making Viber all-in-one app, which serve users' needs beyond messaging in e-commerce, fintech, or even content consumptions. We will also double down to enhance more features to support the growth in our communities and also group messaging and calls, which you just mentioned, where everyone is enjoying, and making this communication more efficient, applicable to many more usage scenarios. So stay tuned for upcoming announcements, both of our new features and the amazing new partnership that we will get a lot more younger audience to be very excited.
Okay. David, obviously, Viber grew exponentially in the past year. How has it grown in terms of users? Can you give us an idea?
Sure.
perhaps give us some statistics about your market?
Definitely. We have seen more than 30% growth in our monthly active users. So this is very important because we're looking beyond just installed users, but we're looking in users that actually get very engaged on our platform. And particularly in the specific areas of our features, with more than 20% growth on communities and 100% growth on group messagings and calls. And with even 50% growth in business messages, this is certainly enhancing our B2B growth. So these are very promising results. And Philippines has become the top growth country globally. And indeed, I think this is a testimony of our right strategy and our successful local partnership establishing very strong local relevance and impacting to our users.
And I can see in my feed the importance of how Viber has helped our SMEs, our small to medium scale entrepreneurs.
Yes, very
You can see a lot of online selling right now
That's right.
to survive the economy. Especially right now, we're back to having stricter health protocols. But David, how does Viber maintain the security and privacy of its users, especially with the surge of users right now? What's life after those disappearing messages that we've all become used to as well?
Privacy and security, I wouldn't call it even a feature for Viber. It's a guiding principle for us to operate as a company. Our end-to-end encryptions by default and our advertising practices, which is not targeted at user profile, speaks of the very foundation that we have in our business operations. And this principle cut across all our features and even partnerships, providing a holistic, secure platform for our users. So this is very important for us to maintain this as our principle of the operations. So we're very proud on the way we operate, and sometimes we're also being compared to our competitions. Even though, as our senior leadership might mention, that we may have compromised even some additional revenue, but we're glad to do so to protect our users' information and the profile, and to really believe in what we do and to provide the needs of a user without compromising privacy and security. So we continue to do this really well and to really secure in the way of how users are using Viber. I think this is very important in many countries and also in the space of battling fake news as well.
Okay.
Yes.
David, would like to know more about the new partnerships you've made last year. But before you get into that, let's pause for a short break.
Thank you.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Compi Manalo, Atty. Lia Badillo Crisostomo, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Jerk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas na ang mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Simulan natin ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments ng aming programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Si Harry Roque ang pinakamagaling na spokesman, kaya inggit sa kanya ang oposisyon.
Tama lang na ipinaglaban ko ang balik trabaho para bumalik ang kita ng mga nagtatrabaho at naghahanap buhay. Hindi pwedeng magutom ang pamilya. Dapat lang po ingat buhay para sa hanap buhay. Basta trabaho, kita at hanap buhay ang nakataya. Nasa harap niyo po ako.
Ibigay natin ang tudong suporta kay Harry.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Hello, and we're back. I'm Francine, and I'm with Dinah, and we're still having a engaging chat with Mr. David Che of Viber. Hello, David. Welcome back.
Hi, Dinah and Francine. Thank you for having me again.
Let's go back to our hanging question. What new partnerships have you made last year, apart from your ongoing collaboration with WHO, of course?
Yeah, I think when the pandemic hits, we have been very focused on getting the legitimate informations with World Health Organizations and the health ministries. And we will continue to strengthen and scale as we focus on this information to be shared within Viber. But as I highlighted, last year, we pilot many new partnerships, especially when we're expanding into more lifestyle content, entertainment, sports. And this will provide even more opportunities for our users and new users to enjoy and engage in the communities and our boards. So looking forward for 2021 to set the right stage for us to even scale into more of the lifestyle content for users to really appeal to wider audiences in the Philippines. So I'm really looking forward this year in 2022.
Okay, so how about Viber for kids, Viber for persons with disabilities and other vulnerable communities? Have you reimagined those? Are you going to target those markets as well?
Yes, because Viber is all about building communities, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So one very important area I would highlight is we are putting a lot more resources and developing Viber for educations. So as we believe, even with the new normal, online communication between Ministry of Education, schools, and especially with parents and students will continue to strive for ease, consistency, and even convenience for communications. So as other communities, but with the need to be unified on a platform which is safe and has the legitimate informations. So Viber, through our core principle in security and privacy, we will continue to verify this information and serve these communities. And we continue to identify and support all the core areas beyond educations. So this is one thing very important. We want to make sure that there is a good user journey with these different communities, especially like kids and students. So we will drive through this really well with the different categories of communities to ensure that we continue to stay strong on the principle of security and privacy and to provide different features to help them. So one area that we definitely see a lot of development in this year will be for education for kids.
Okay. That's good, right?
In the Philippines, do you have collaborations with local governments like our education department or tourism department?
Yes. So aside, of course, from the Ministry of Health, Department of Health, we definitely working with other agencies or other government agencies. So education is one area, as I mentioned, would be one big focus for us because we believe that education requires a really safe environment. So this is important for us. As you can see, 2022, we all hope that we'll get back to the new normal soon. So we're also looking into domestic travel, for example. How can we help for Viber to be an integrated platform when people travel? So there are a lot of different opportunities for us to emphasize on. And this is very important for us to ensure Viber has the right user journey for the users. So we will work with the government agencies to make sure that this is relevant for them and for us to provide the benefit and value added platform for the users. So we continue to strive that, but for health, education will be the primary agencies we're working with, and we will continue to expand that in Philippines.
Okay. David, just a little summary, like how would you compare Viber at the time it started to its role now? Apparently, it's like serving so many communities already.
Very broad in terms of its services.
How would you describe the growth of the company?
Definitely. I mean, aside from the growth figures I've shared early on, we are definitely stepping beyond a messenger app. Yes, our founders was literally innovating this platform to be ease of use communication between family and the loved ones. But right now, we are definitely serving the local needs of different countries. And Philippines is taking a pioneer role into driving different areas. So as you can see, as I mentioned as well, we are literally driving towards an all-in-one app. So aside from messaging, setting up communities, we're also looking into more on the user-generated content for the community to share. This is one very important area. So there's more engagement into the different areas, as I mentioned, about lifestyle, entertainment, and sports. But we're also looking into a really important area where people need to use on a daily basis, like e-commerce, like fintech. So this is something that we believe will continue to serve our users on a daily basis and to increase our monthly active usage. As I mentioned, most importantly, we serve as a very relevant user journey for our users. So you can definitely see us stepping beyond as a messenger app, but serving the needs of every users, be it in their work life or in the personal life. So I'm looking forward for us to provide even more services for the users in Philippines.
Yeah, I think it's a very good thing for everyone.
Can I just say something? I'm so blown away by the QR code. Where will it take us next? Oh my God. It's practically, you can use it anywhere, everywhere. So where will that take us next?
QR codes is a place where it creates convenience, but at the same time, we're also looking into more native solutions into a lot of different areas. So I wouldn't rule out the QR code. QR code is really useful for many areas, from payments to access to different informations. But when we understand and learn from certain services that will be very important for users, we actually want it to be more efficient and more effective on the platform, especially when I talk about user journey. So some of them may be developed into more native on the platform itself. So I'm looking forward for some of this to serve even better. But QR code is definitely one place that will continue to stay, but we will be selectively looking into services that will serve our users better and build it into more native solutions.
The way I'm looking at it is that Viber seems to be the impetus for pushing people to get into the digital world, to jump into the digital transformation because of the many services that it offers. We've forgotten to use our wallets because of Viber.
I think if you look at the current situations, I mentioned about educations, the way we even do grocery shoppings, right? We used to get into the supermarket or even neighborhood provision shops to get what we need. But from the convenience point of view, or of course right now, there could be some level of restrictions. We're getting a lot more comfortable communicating online and doing transaction online. I have actually said this before in the sense that I don't think people have changed the behavior, or they have developed into a very new behavior over this challenging period. I would just believe that the current period has stimulated the growth for online communications or online transactions and interactions. So I believe the new normal will continue to stay because the online communication does serve a very strong level of efficiency and that you can get a lot of things done at your fingertips. So I think that's the way Viber see it, because of the convenience and consistency we're giving to people. And people will continue to utilize this even when the new normal comes. Of course, we definitely strive to see each other face to face, but there are many things that you could do really at the ease of your fingertips in a much quicker and more efficient way. And Viber will be there to serve our users better.
You were saying a while ago that Viber is also gearing up for a much younger audience, and it's a very visual audience. Are we gearing up for more video platforms, video content for Viber? Is that where we're going?
I think lenses is definitely the first step to provide a new level of expressions. So in terms of where this lens will go, we're definitely going to evolve into even more onto capturing through AI, capturing expression through AI. I think that's the first big step we're taking forward to appeal to more younger audiences. At the same time, we're also growing the features of communities to enhance the user-generated content, to really let young people to share things, right? From content creators to even small merchants or even businesses. So in a way that people can consume more in Viber. So it's not just about content creations, but also consumptions. So to me, I think this is the part where younger audience are absolutely liking it. But the key difference here is you're consuming all this and creating all this in a much safer environment because of our platform and because of our principle of security and privacy.
That's very good to know. And I guess, as they say in Disney, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new digital world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, David, let's go offline and talk about your office. What is it like right now?
We have expanded our team in Philippines. As I mentioned, this is a top growth team globally for us. So I'm very proud of the Philippine team, and we have grown from all our functions in business development, marketing, PR with one of our good colleagues, Lana, and we're working with all of you, to sales and even customer support, to really strengthen our growth in the country. The team has grown in size. Of course, working in office remain voluntary. So this is important for us where we grow in size is to create stronger relevance. It is very important for us to really look into what is relevant from partnerships, the user's needs, and also really looking into the user journey. So having the actual resources in the country and to really tap on the growth of the users is going to be very, very important. So I'm really proud of the team to be working really well with the new members, especially how we have grown in 2021. But even with the size increase, I'm also very proud of the culture in Viber. I think this is some part that personally and professionally, I'm just very excited about, and especially in the APAC team. We have a really great culture with openness, which encourage our members to speak their mind, especially in the areas providing respectful feedback to each other. And I think in the Filipino cultures, it's very open, and they're very energetic, very, very talented people. And the sole purpose of this is really to improve team self-awareness and our collaboration. I think it's important, especially for me, who's seated in Singapore, to work with them currently in a remote manner, to really understand and learn from one strength and weakness through the eyes of the teammates. And it's probably the most important and actually sometimes most difficult step to begin with. So our team, especially in Philippines and the rest of the APAC team, we are very empowered to make decisions, take calculated risks. And I will always emphasize the word to make mistakes. There's a very strong principle in marketing on first to market advantage, but I would rather say and recommend first mistake advantage to understand the learning and be in the understanding of our users or even marketing tactics effectiveness. So be the first to learn and will be the first to be effective. So with this, I'm really proud of what the Philippine team has achieved in 2021 and looking forward for the team to excel even further in 2022.
David,
really nice.
Yes.
First mistake.
Yes. David, you're in Singapore, right?
Yes, I am.
What does it mean to be senior director for APAC? What is your work like?
Oh, my work life is about spending.
Imagine the scope.
I would say that this is from my past experience in the region for over 25 years. Viber has given me the best environment. On the contrary, some people may say I have joined Viber exactly at the start, almost at the start and the midst of the pandemic. But because of the open culture, it's amazing to be able to work with the amazing talents in the APAC team, in Philippines, in all other countries in APAC. So to me, it's all about, it is always, it takes two hands to clap, as I always say it. Even of what I want to do, I need the team to be responding. And I'm just very glad of how Philippines I've been working very closely with. So being here remotely, yes, there's certain challenges, but it's being overcome by the willingness of the team and the proactiveness of the team that Viber has already cultivated for the years. And I'm just very excited in here Of course, for me, what is lacking is to meet my team face to face, the sooner possible, to really see them in person. But we haven't lacked of a lot, even when we work through the screen, because of the energy the Philippine team has. So even sitting in Singapore, I don't really feel that far away. And I feel that really good, and the Philippine team has the energy that cuts through the screen. So I'm very glad of how I'm planning and working in APAC. And for me, the really next big step as the head of the APAC is really to be in country. As I mentioned early on, the impact is to understand the local countries, feel the vibes, feel the users, feel our partners. And that's something that I emphasize a lot in the way I work in the region or even at a global level. So just looking forward perhaps to see even both of you when I get to the Philippines to work with the team and work with all the partners.
That would be great.
Hey, David, can you give us an idea how big the Philippine team is?
Well, it has grown to more than close to 10 staff right now. And we have added, as I say, all the different functions. And we add everyone in at the same time. In fact, we just moved into a much bigger office. And I think the team is amazing. And I'm just very surprised that how the team will come together with new members coming in. They're very welcoming. So Philippine team is always the North Star. As we compare to other offices in the region. Philippine team might not be the biggest office in Viber. Our biggest office are still other part of the world. But Philippine team is definitely the biggest in APAC as we add in other members in other countries. So I'm very proud they are taking a very good example for us to have a great culture and a great team locally in the country.
David, you seem to be a very collaborative leader. Would you say that's your management style?
I would say that I'm learning from everyone at the same time. I believe in a sense of business, in different discipline in marketing, business development. You will never be the one who know everything. So I believe myself is learning at the same time when I manage the team. So it's important for us, as I mentioned, to be really open, and it's very important for even my members to be giving me feedback directly. The conversation is always open. So, and they are also at the same time being empowered to make decisions. So this is something that I believe is the best way to work. I think working out pretty well, but we continue to learn. We continue to improve from where we are. So the first word is literally be humble and to learn from the team. At the same time, for them to also take courage to give me feedback. I think that's not easy to do, but I'm glad Philippine team is definitely doing it well. So this is how I want to manage in an open culture, and at the same time, empowerment for them to do the right thing in the country.
Sounds like an exciting workplace where, I mean, you know, all the creative juices are happening, all the interactions, ideas are being put into one harmonized concept.
Which makes me curious. How much time do you spend in front of a computer?
How much time do you spend on the Viber app?
Well, I have kind of reinforce certain level of discipline for myself, especially when working from home most of the time, even though for Singapore, we also have the rest of other Rakuten subsidiary in Singapore, which is a regional Asia Pacific hub. But most of the time I still work from home because I do work with colleagues in different time zone. Philippines in the same time zone, which is great. We all wake up early in the morning, but a lot of my colleagues are in different time zones, so I do work till late evening. So when there's time, there's always good for exercise. So there's always time for me to get outdoor, to give myself a bit of time to breathe some fresh air. But I must always say that I have to have put aside my time, not to look at my screen, not to look at my email. Sometimes it's a bit hard to do, it's occupational hazard, but to spend time with my family. So my kids are growing up very quickly. The pandemic is increasing the speed of things. So I would definitely spend a lot of time with them, and always asking myself, have we spoken enough? Have we conversed enough? Have we done some exercise together enough? So there's something that I often do and to just make sure that balance off and not looking at the screen at all times.
Yes, that's good advice, huh? Be conscious about your time, how you use it.
And have that work-life
Absolutely.
balance. Work-life balance is important.
Very important. Sometimes working from home actually require even stricter discipline. So, the laptop is right on the table and next to your bed sometimes. So it's easy to just go back to work. I think it requires a bit of discipline. So I'm glad that we're able to do that.
Yes, we can relate, David. It's just right beside you.
Anyway, so David, almost 2 years into the pandemic, where do you think Viber figures in the country's recovery and healing?
Well, I believe recovery and healing for the country is not an independent process, but interlinked in the region and globally. Be it recovery economically or socially, require a process between countries, especially where Philippines' economics and resources are also dependent with the progress of other countries, especially in the Southeast Asian countries. But I believe even Singapore is also part of the region. I believe the region has strong collaboration on many fronts, and there's good recovery with swift actions taken by various agency organizations. So I'm confident that 2022 will definitely have positive steps forward to overcome and navigate the current situations. And for Viber growth, we have always been strategically focused on the local needs of our users. So every strategy that we have is very focused into each of the country. I think this is a very sound strategy that we have to really provide more than just messaging surrounding their daily lives. For example, like empowering small businesses to widen their reach, content creators now having an alternate and safe platforms to engage fans, and as I mentioned, like unified communication with students and communities and many more. So I believe we're in a good place, both for the country and Philippines in 2022, with all the good works that done by various governments, agencies, and also for Viber to be in the right place to serve our users as we all grow stronger from the pandemic.
Yes. Yes, definitely. We all heal together.
As one world, right?
Yes, as a community.
Yes.
I think it brings us together as one much better. There will always be conflicts. I think the word I use a lot is empathy. I think we all feel for each other right now. It's not about finger pointing. It's not about who is at fault. I think it's how we work together as multiple countries, a region, and as a global communities. And Viber being a global platform, I think we definitely sense that. And hopefully we can be part of this drive a stronger growth for every one of us.
Yes, we support you in that.
Thank
It's just
you.
amazing how connected we all are digitally right now, even if we have to socially distance from each other.
Communication is still...
I feel that I'm having a conversation just next to you. So hopefully that we can see each other face to face, but it doesn't restrict our perspective and mindset by having this conversation. It makes things easier, but at the same time, I think we feel more connected with each other.
And we hear your message about empathy. I mean, reaching out to communities, helping each other. And I've seen a lot of efforts in Viber, especially when Typhoon Odette hit Eastern Visayas. A lot of relief drives were being raised. So that's the kind of community that we want to raise.
Yeah, and I think Viber is, I come from different global organizations, and I must say that Viber really empower us to do the right thing. Doing right thing is often very challenging, especially in big organizations. Especially in the commercial organizations, very often we ask the word of what is the return on investment, ROI. But doing the right thing is literally our DNA. We have done great work helping people in different countries globally. And we can take swift action to do the right thing for our users or when any countries are facing challenges. So this is a good case of the difficult time when the typhoon hits and our Philippines able to take swift actions to help the people in need. So I'm very proud of what the Philippines has done, and we'll continue to do so, simply because culturally and our company at Viber, we are empowered to do such things because we treasure and appreciate how we can contribute back to the communities. So this is something that I'm very proud of where I am. I'm very proud of the team and what Viber has been doing all these years.
Yeah, we're very proud of Viber.
Not just that, but also the stickers are helping us get our sanity together. Those Viber stickers. Thank you very much. So, David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we have to part ways for now. See you when you're in Manila. But meanwhile, can you give our viewers some parting shots?
Sure. I think the world as we know it is changing, evolving. So to me, I think we all have to accept change is the only constant. So there will be more equal playing fields because of the ever-changing environment. So I think my words is to embrace change, have the mindsets to first innovate, take risks, and make mistakes to learn and be better. So I believe this applies to both myself and many of you professionally and personally. So take the first step of change in 2022. Thank you for having me.
Wow, thank you again, David, for your beautiful
very
words.
Inspiring.
Yes, and for sharing your story with us.
Yes.
Thank you, Dinah, and thank you, Francine, for having me. And really love talking to you, both of you. And hope, as I said, in 2022, I will see you guys face to face in Philippines.
Yes. We'll invite you for coffee.
Absolutely. I will be there. Thank you.
Okay, so Dinah.
Okay, so thank you once again for joining us in this episode of PairFect.
Yes, so this is our first episode, Dinah, and how inspiring already, right?
Yeah, and then if they want to watch us again, watch PairFect.
We're currently live on
every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on Daily Tribune's official Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube for the replay of the latest edition.
Yes.
There you go.
Just to let you know, we also have our Katribu community on Viber for the latest news from Daily Tribune.
Yes, please do join that community.
O, diba? Instant plugging of our newspaper.
Okay, I'm Dinah Ventura.
And I'm Francine.
And this has been PairFect.